Hi, good morning. Morning. Wake up. It's a beautiful Friday morning. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Gilbert Gwaze and welcome to Success Elementary. This is an online class. It's going to be a beautiful Friday morning as we go dive deep into persistence. Why persistence is the most important thing for you to analyze and understand. The moment you're going to start stepping out of your zone, the moment you're going to start wanting to desire something, there's going to be a pushback. Not a pushback from the environment or anything outside of yourself. No. The pushback is going to be coming from your old self. It's going to lodge a royal war. If you haven't seen war yet, wait till you start stepping out of your comfort zone. Wait till you start wanting to pursue something different. And then you're going to start experiencing that pushback. Now, as that starts to happen, we ought to know exactly what we need to do. Do we need to keep pushing? Do we need to give up and then fold and then go back to comfort? What is it that we need to do? So as we continue on the topic of persistence, which is chapter 9 in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I call it the Holy Grail. I still consider it as one of the most masterpieces of literature ever written by a human being who ever walked around this earth. It has made and it has sold millions and to almost 200 million. It took 25 years to put together this material. To me, I find it so exciting and fascinating because if you can stick onto something and focus onto something for 25 years, best believe the material that is in there is magical. Is nothing short of miraculous, because when someone has put all their energies and all their efforts to bring something into reality, which is this book that we are reading, we are getting the purest of information. We are getting a condensed version of all the principles that we can think of which are going to lead us to a successful achievement. You put together 13 principles of successful achievement, 13 principles of success, 13 building blocks. If you but understand them, which is the journey we are on in Success Elementary, is to explore and to find different ways of expressing the same energy that Napoleon Hill managed to capture for 25 years. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure, and you're in for a good one. I highly recommend that you continue to follow. We have now moved to YouTube, so don't forget, just click subscribe and turn on the notification button, because each and every day we're going to be uploading on our YouTube channel, which is Success Elementary. We're going to be uploading beautiful stuff, incredible stuff that has got the serious potential of changing and putting your life back on track. You have now learned about a few principles of how then you can get back on the driver's seat of your life. It is possible that you can get back on the driver's seat of your life and you can start taking control of the events and results of your life through the controlling of your actions, through the controlling of your emotions, through the controlling of your thoughts, through the controlling of the power that resides inside of you, that is constantly awash, that is constantly trying to find a means of expressing itself. And it is all governed by the way you think about things. It is all guided by the way you see things, by your perspective, your perception towards things. It is all guided by your imagination. How are you going to use that energy to paint the outcome that you desire? You get it? Quite simple, is it? Not as simple, because you're going to need a support system. That's why we created this school, so that we create an environment where we support each other, we grow together, we ask each other questions, and we research together, and we try to find solutions to the problems that each and every one of us are going to be facing. So that's my calling. I'm sticking to it. I'll be on it each and every day. This must be day number 142 of our 365 days. You see now, persistence. We have to keep going. We don't have to stop. We don't have to stall. We have to keep putting all those points on the scoreboard so that the community grows, everyone grows in awareness. A candle loses nothing by lighting another. That's what I deeply believe in. And I believe if you grab this information if you grow into an understanding of this information, everything is going to change. Nothing is ever going to be the same. So let's continue studying. We're on chapter 9, Think and Grow Rich, persistence. Persistence. If you could all tend to that. The starting point of all achievements is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results. Just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. If you find yourself lacking in persistence, this weakness may be remedied by building a stronger fire under your desires. Continue to read through to the end. Then go back to chapter 2 and start immediately to carry out the instructions given in connection with the 6 steps. The eagerness with which you follow these instructions will indicate clearly how much or how little you will really desire to accumulate money. If you find that you are indifferent, you may be sure that you have not yet acquired the money consciousness, which you must possess before you can be sure of accumulating a fortune. You see, we've got money programs. The money consciousness is a money program that each and every one of us carries with themselves wherever they walk around. Some are good at accumulating money, but they're not good at keeping it. Some are good at keeping it, but they're not good at accumulating it. So you're going to have to make a study of yourself. What is your strength? Is it both ends burned out? You don't know how to accumulate it and keep it? Or you know how to accumulate it, but you don't know how to keep it? Or you don't know how to accumulate it, but you know how to keep it? You're going to have to find yourself in which bracket and which pocket you fit in. It all starts with you analyzing yourself. And if you do a little bit of research and go back a little bit, you're going to find out that you simply inherited a money program that was handed over to you by your mother or your father. If you go back a little bit further again, you're going to find out that you simply inherited a program that was your mother and father inherited from their own mothers and fathers. So it has just been a chain up until, boom, you came into the picture and you still carry and run with the same program. Now, if you manage to identify that program, that is the first step of knowing exactly where you need to go tune to correct everything. I've done it myself. Results of mine have been improving ever since I discovered, I think I'm running with my father's program. I think when it comes to money, my father's program is running me. Has he ever had an opportunity to accumulate a lot of money? Yes, he did. But did he manage to retain any wealth for himself? No. He spent it all. And that's the same program that I was running with for years. And I managed to calm down myself, to grab myself in the process and start coding myself and programming myself that I am someone who can keep wealth. I am someone who can accumulate wealth. I am good at generating income. I am good at, that's the vocabulary programming that you're going to do to yourself. It's all verbal. If you write it down, it's all neurotical. You're going to have to memorize it and to continue to repeat it. Those 6 steps which were being repeated in chapter 2, they encompass the steps that you need to do to make sure that you change your programming to a new one. Let's continue. Fortune gravitates to men whose minds have been prepared to attract them, just surely as water gravitates to the ocean. In this book may be found all the stimuli necessary to attune any normal mind to the vibration with which will attract the objects of one's desires. If you find you are weak in persistence, center your attention upon the instructions contained in the chapter of power. Surround yourself with a mastermind group, and through the cooperative efforts of the members of this group, you can develop persistence. You will find additional instructions for the development of persistence in the chapter of autosuggestion. in the subconscious mind. Follow the instructions outlined in these chapters until your habit nature hands over to your subconscious mind a clear picture of the objective of your desire. From that point on, you will not be handicapped by lack of persistence. Your subconscious mind works continuously while you are awake and while you are asleep. Spasmodic or occasional efforts to apply the rules will be of no value to you. To get results, you must apply all the rules until their application becomes a fixed habit with you. In no other way can you develop a necessary money consciousness. So there is no time out. Bottom line, there is no time out. There is no time out for spasmodic application of these principles. You're going to have to dedicate. Dedication and commitment means blocking out all other options and focus on what is being said here. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not. But can you do it? Yes, you've got every inch of potential and power. That's the power that I want you to realize, that you can overcome all the obstacles and push back that your inner self is going to put against you. You can, yes, you can. Yes, you will. Yes, it has been done before countless times. Yes, there are stories on top of stories of people who've managed to accomplish greater achievements because they only managed to know their weaknesses and they started working on those weaknesses up until they managed to overcome them. In the instructions, as we are being given the notes here, as the dots continue to connect, are as simple as anyone should understand. We brought in the stickman, as you can see right at the back there. Napoleon is talking about the conscious mind and the subconscious. Once programming happens in the subconscious, once a good program has been put in the subconscious mind, a good money conscious program, a good money file, which knows how to accumulate, which knows how to retain wealth, you're not going to have to suffer in any way in as far as wealth is concerned, in as far as money is concerned. The same applies for your health. Once you know how to exercise and how to eat clean, you're going to have to maintain a good and balanced health. Biologists call it homeostasis, a state of balance in your body. The same applies in your relationships. The moment you balance how to give and how to receive, the moment everything else is going to change. You're going to find out that you're only going to get what you give. In any relationship, either be it a business relationship or a marriage or just a mere relationship without marriage with your partner, whatever the case may be, whatever you give, you're going to receive. So analyze yourself. What is it that you're giving? What is it that you're not giving? What is it that you need to improve on, which you need to work on? What opportunities are there for you to expand and to give? Because there is more joy in giving than in receiving. So if you give, it's automatically you're going to receive tenfold. Biblical verses, Jesus talks of all that. Let's continue. Poverty is attracted by one whose mind is favorable to it, as money is attracted to him whose mind has been deliberately prepared to attract it. And through the same laws, poverty consciousness will voluntarily seize the mind which is not occupied with the money consciousness. So if you're not practicing to develop your money consciousness, guess what? Something is occupying the position that was supposed to be occupied by that money consciousness. And guess what that is? It's a poverty consciousness. A poverty consciousness is waking up each and every morning seeing problems, not solutions. Seeing lack and limitation, not abundance. That's a poverty consciousness. You'd like by all means to start working on that and to avoid it in every step of the way as you go and progress through your days. It's a day-to-day, minute-by-minute, second-by-second work. So it's going to require your commitment in a good support system. That's why we've got this platform which is called Success Elementary, to be teaching each other and to be supporting each other and to keep each other in check and in line in as far as achieving your dreams and goals, as far as that is concerned. A poverty consciousness develops without conscious application of the habit favorable to it, which means by neglect, a poverty consciousness is going to visit and stay for free in your mind. The money consciousness must be created to order unless one is born with such a consciousness. Most of us, 99.9%, trust me, we're born with a poverty consciousness. We're born into lack and limitation. There's a very few percentage of people were born with the money consciousness. A lot of us are going to have to start developing that money consciousness. And what are the steps to do that? This is what we are learning. Persistence is the key. Catch the full significance of the statements in the presiding paragraph, and you will understand the importance of persistence in the accumulation of a fortune. Without persistence, you will be defeated even before you start. With persistence, you will win. If you have ever experienced a nightmare, you will realize the value of persistence. You are lying in bed, half awake, with the feeling that you are about to smother. You are unable to turn over or to move a muscle. You realize that you must begin to regain control over your muscles. Through persistent effort of willpower, you finally manage to move the finger of one hand. By continuing to move your fingers, you extend your control to the muscles of your arm until you lift it. Then you gain control of the other arm in the same manner. You finally gain control over the muscles of one leg and then extend it to the other leg. Then with one supreme effort of will, you regain complete control over your muscle system and snap out of your nightmare. The trick has been turned step by step. You must find it necessary to snap out of your mental inertia through a similar procedure, moving slowly at first, then increasing your speed until you gain complete control over your will. Be persistent no matter how slowly you may at first have to move. With persistence, you will be a success. Let's end there, gentlemen. It's all in incremental efforts, day-to-day efforts. We were not born with the money consciousness, as Napoleon Hill continues to highlight to us. The money consciousness has never been our portion from birth. We have simply been handed over troubles and problems of the past, of past generations, because they never knew any better. We've come to an age where studying and getting new information and creating more options and planting good seeds and getting better options and better ideas inside of our minds is the norm of today. If you're not studying, I foresee disaster. I foresee disaster, because it's only through study that you're going to get a lot of ideas, that you're going to have to assume a different mindset, that you're going to have to support yourself as you constantly hammer on new ideas and new ways of doing things. But it's all in incremental efforts. Persistence, just like munanema dzikirira. Anotanga kumuva kafinga, just like the story we've been told there, up until they regain and snap out of that nightmare. The same thing is you're going to have to learn how to snap out of your nightmare of inertia. Inertia simply means a body at rest. A lot of you are in comfort. A lot of you don't want to move. A lot of you don't want anything other than what you have right now. A lot of you don't have that spark and that desire inside of you. And continuing to study with me and continuing to get to these lessons each and every day is going to start building a fire inside of you and starting to regain that control of your inner self, so that you're going to have to build that desire back again. Yes, it is possible. Inertia is the best disease that keeps you right where you are, because you're not going to do anything of any significance if you do not move. So it's that time for you to move. Find you desire happiness. Find you desire accumulation of wealth. Find you desire health. Wake up every morning. Let's do small little steps. Let's take 20 minutes each and every day of accumulating and absorbing good information from good authors. Let's hang around and choose our friends and choose our circle wisely. If you want to accumulate money, why are you hanging around broke people? If you want health, why are you hanging around people who are just lazy, who just want to stay sleeping all day? If you want to be a success, you're going to have to change quite a number of things. And it all starts with you making that decision to change. And then taking the first step, no matter how small, a little it is, doesn't matter. Tomorrow, you're going to increase that step. The next day, an increase is going to come. The next day, an increase is going to come. And then, boom, you've snapped out of your old self. You are now operating with a new perspective and a new way of looking at things. And guess what? Everything that you will be looking at, a degree of change in your perspective, I told you, is all I'm asking for. Is all that I want from you. So that you can have just a little bit of change in the way you see things. And everything else that you see is going to change. Thank you so much, Oman. Today we end here. Let's just see how far we need to go. Okay, persistence is quite a long chapter, but we're going to take our time. Come on. We've got all the time. We're not in a rush. But the most important thing that I want to ask you is to put this information into practice. It doesn't help you to just be absorbing books and attending seminars and tuning in to Success Elementary each and every morning if you haven't started acting and moving in the direction you are supposed to move in. I told you success is someone who knows where they are, they know where they are going, and they are progressively moving in the direction in which they are, or in the direction in which they want. That's the best definition of success I ever got. And I totally believe that everyone else, there is enough room for everyone to be successful. You can be a success today. It doesn't matter how much crap you had to deal with in the past. Those were lessons that you had to learn. And if you continue to focus on you and working on you, not on other people, not on other, what you hear, what you see, what you read in newspapers and blogs and news. No. Go back and look inside of you. You're going to find a hidden treasure. A treasure that if you but choose to explore, it has got everything that you have ever wanted in your life. Things are going to change. Everything is going to get better. Up until we meet again tomorrow, man. Same time, same place. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget to push the subscribe button and turn on notification, for we are going to be uploading a lot of content which is going to be helping you succeed and making everything go better in your life. My name is Gilbert Gwaze. Success Elementary is the page. Up until we meet again, same time, same place. Tomorrow, Captain Gwaze, cheers. Let's go out there. Let's go do it. Yes, you can. Cheers.